study on 23,000 women and found single mothers spent less They did a study on 23,000 women and found single mothers spent less time on household chores and get more sleep than married women with kids. I studied exactly this in my undergrad. I wanted to know before I left my marriage whether or not single motherhood was going to be to my detriment and my kids' detriment. And what they found was that it was all money. If women found a way to be financially independent, then the kids didn't have an issue. They fared better. They were in a loving, stable home. Everything was okay. And the father could still be present, still have visitation. Or if they were already not involved, that just continued. Why do you think we see so many celebrity single moms where their kids are raised just fine and everybody is just happy? It comes down to the money. Think about it, ladies.
Poor, 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 poor.
Hold on. I thought they were the most educated.
You big dummy.
Where's the intelligence? Oh, you mean they're the most enrolled. Oh, that's right. That makes more sense. How can anybody listen to this? And let me tell you, a lot of women watch this video. A lot of them. The comment section is full of, that's the only reason why they were in a relationship with the child's father is for his resources. Over 5,000 comments. Let's go through what she said. Let me break this down to you and let me show you why they at the bottom. Because this don't even make any sense what she's saying at all. Not even a little bit. Well, let's go.
They did a study on 23,000 women and found single mothers spent less time on household chores and get more sleep than married women with kids. I studied exactly this.
You know why? Let's start with that. You know why? You know why? Because single women, right, with single mothers, right? When you look at them, and we talking about them, when we look at them, what do they do? What do they do? They tend to not clean the house. They tend to not clean the house, right? Not only that, they tend to not cook for the children, right? Why you think when a lot of these children growing up under single mother household, single women households, those children end up growing up bad eating habits, weight problems. You know why women that are married clean and cook? Because the guy that's there, the husband that's there, is going to say something about it. He's going to say, whoa, wait a minute, the house is not clean? Yeah, the kids are eating McDonald's and Burger King. He's going to have a problem with that. Leave it up to y'all. Y'all will have them eating processed food to the sunburn out. And, leave it up to y'all. Your house, dishes is never washed. The floors is never mopped. See, men like order. We like structure. And when we come home, we like a house to be clean. See, it's a trade-off when you look at a relationship. The men, they usually take care of the big things of the house. You own a house, the roof needs to get repaired, they the ones taking care of it. Even if she chip in, she don't chip in a lot. She's chipping a few hundred. You shelling out thousands, right? Oh, the pavement needs to get You need a new paving the driveway, a new furnace, a living room set, whatever it is, it's usually the man that's coming out of pocket. The car, the engine, something wrong with the engine. She may shell out a little bit of money here and there, but it's usually the man. You know why? Because he's responsible when it comes to finances. They're not. So the least you can do as a wife is clean and cook. That's the least you can do. Which means that single mothers don't even do the least for the children. Let's go.
In my undergrad, I wanted to know before I left my marriage whether or not single motherhood was going to be to my detriment and my kids' detriment. And what they...
Let's stop there. So you wanted to know if leaving your marriage will be to your detriment only when finances were involved, which mean that you didn't say that you left your marriage. And I keep telling y'all, black men, I keep telling you this, they're not leaving a marriage because of cheating. They're not leaving a marriage because of, you gambling, abuse. They're just leaving because they want to be in those streets. They want to be in those streets. So she's looking at how much money is it going to take to live with her and the children by herself. And not only that, she's not even thinking about what it's going to do to the children. How is it going to affect the children? When children grow up with two-parent household, right, they have a better chance at success than a child growing up in a one-parent household. This has been proven many times over. Now, knowing that, you still want to leave the marriage just because those streets is calling you. Nothing else, nothing more. But she also want to know how it's going to affect her financially. This is crazy, right? Oh, let's go.
What they found was that it was all money. If women found a way to be financially independent, then the kids didn't have an issue. They fared better. They were in a loving, stable home. Everything was okay. And the father could still be present, still have visitation. Or if they were already not involved, that just continued. Why do you think we see so many celebrity single moms where their kids are raised just fine? And
now that's the craziest part. Let's deal with this right here. Let's deal with this. Who said that those celebrity children, when it comes to the single mothers, they're fine? Who said that? Where that study came from? Just because they have money? Do you see those kids? Take a look at those children. Go look at all these celebrity children that grew up. They're a mess. I don't know what she's talking about. I literally can have a list of celebrity children that grew up and they're a mess. But let's not focus on that. Let's focus on the money. Let's just, because that's all she want to focus on. It's the money, right? Let's focus on the money. How crazy it is to try to compare the average situation, most situations, with celebrity. And this is the reason why they're at the bottom. Why are you talking about celebrities? The people who are watching you, the thousands of people who are watching you, they're not celebrities, so this goes for them. Okay, let's talk about millionaires, because that's what she's talking about. You need to be a millionaire. How many women are millionaires in the US? I tell you, 2%. 2%. She's talking about 2% of people, y'all. Do you hear what I'm saying? She's talking about 2% of people. for the average woman. 2%. This is why Becky is doing better than them. This is the reason why Maria is doing better than them. This is the reason why Ling Ling is doing way better than them. 2% of people. Millionaires. And as far as six figures, and when I say 2%, I'm talking about 2% of all women. Now, and when they talk about seven figures, right? Only six figures, excuse me, six figures, only 7% of them make that, of all women. But as far as millionaires, 2%. She really thought she was cooking here. This is the reason why they so easy to break down, and that's why when you look at debates, it's no reason to debate them. It's no reason to talk to them. This is the bubble. 2% she's talking about. So, you're willing to break up your household because of 2% of women you've been watching on television. You believe they're doing better because of money, the 2% that you've been watching, which is not the truth at all. Doesn't come down to money when you look at children growing up. You think children care about money when it comes to their parents? You think children, and again, she's talking about just themselves. This is how selfish they are. They not think, she haven't said anything about the children, how they would feel, nothing. You think children care about money? Kids don't care about money. They care about their mother and their fathers. They want to see their mothers and their fathers together. The security that it brings for them to wake up knowing that their mother and their father's at home. The security that they have coming home from school knowing that their mother and their father's at home. Whether they're at work or not, they know throughout that entire day they're going to see their mother and their father at least once or twice. Waking up to their mother and father. And you want to take that balance away because of 2% of people that you've seen on television. Killing me? This is sick.
And everybody is just happy. It comes down to the money.
And here's another thing. The reason why, Becky and Maria is doing better than them also is because they do understand that it takes, two incomes nowadays, right? It takes two incomes nowadays, right? And and then we talking about for them, a man can live by himself, with his wages because he's not overspending. A man can do it, but with them, they need help because they constantly spend, they constantly make poor choices, car notes, credit cards, student debt, so they really need a lot of help. But Maria and Becky and Ling Ling, they understand that in order to give their children something in life, inheritance, security, keep a roof over their head, and groceries in the fridge. They understand that it's better to get with a man. They understand that part. Two incomes. Better to help the children, but it's not just about the money. They also understand that there's a balance. There's a balance and there's a security. You raising a child by yourself is tough, right? It's tough. It's tough. From what I'm hearing from these single mothers, it's tough. You don't hear single mothers saying it's a breeze. You hear them saying it's tough, right? Um, One thing I don't hear from single men with children, I don't hear all this, it's so tough, it's this and that, you know, and even though we don't hear them complaining, I'm pretty sure it's tough. I'm pretty sure it's not easy, but they're not out here complaining. It's them complaining all the time. But you chose this. You chose this. And if you're constantly telling us it's tough, right? And I believe it's tough, right? It's another life you have to take care of besides yourself. If you constantly believe that, right? And and you know, you realize that and you've seen it with your mother, you've seen it with your aunts, you've seen it with your friends, then why did you do it? Why did you decide to become a single mom? And I keep telling y'all, the answer is they watch too much reality TV. The guy that they with is boring because he works a regular job. They envision themselves with rappers, ball players. They envision themselves with millionaires, influencers. They really watch TV and look at their man and start to have no respect for him because he's not a millionaire. And then that's where the problem starts because she start watching reality TV, which is all fake, and think that that should be her. She's on Facebook, she's on Instagram, she's watching these women up there lie about their lifestyle, and she wished that that was her lifestyle. And then she look at her life and think that she's working, her man is working, and they look at it like this is a buster's life. Becky, Maria, Ling Ling look at their life and think they think to themselves, thank God they live in a relationship where both of them are contributing. They both can, put towards the house, put towards the car, the bills. They're both healthy. They both care about each other, and the kids are fine. They get on their knees at night and thank God that they're in a life where they're not struggling, they're not hurting, and they're not starving. And they think they're men. They look at the men and think the men that they with for providing this lifestyle that a lot of people around the world don't have. They don't really know what real poverty is because the government saves them. They don't know what real poverty is. I mean, they still, in poverty, but they never experience starving, right? So when you look at her and the rest of them and the women that, you know, talking on this not talking, but commenting on this section, you got to think to yourself, um when you're out there dating, you got to look at what's the outcome you're looking for, right? And when you're dating them, I could tell you the outcome before it even happens. She's going to divorce you, right? And whatever you built, she's going to want half of it. She's going to want half of it, and she's going to want to take that half and go to the streets and probably give most of it to some pookie. You notice how the only time they want to go 50-50 is when there's a divorce going on. That's the only time they want to go 50-50 is is in a divorce. 50-50 now? No, they don't want 50-50. They want to be single mothers, and they want to be millionaires, single mothers that's millionaires. This is ridiculous.
You big dummy.